We announced results a couple of months ago for Q2, which shown a very strong growth both on our e-commerce platform as well as our fintech business. Number of users growing very nicely, at 30% on fintech, 25% year-on-year growth on commerce, performing very, very well in all of the markets where we operate. We continue to increase financial inclusion. But then when we look at ahead, we see plenty of growth in the future, right? Penetration of e-commerce in Latin America continues to be relatively low compared to the US or Asia. It's at mid-teen %. Financial inclusion is very, very low, and we're also making significant progress on bringing people to our ecosystem. So we are very excited, not only with the results that we deliver in Q2, but with more importantly, with the growth that we see ahead of us.
I will say normally, so Martin, I know normally you're in Montevideo, but right now you're in San Francisco, just to correct myself.
Yeah, well, tell us a little bit, Martin, about why you are in San Francisco.
We are attending the Goldman Sachs Technology Conference, So we're visiting with investors and analysts, and again, talking about the results and the future of the company.
And to that point, I mean, this is a technology conference. How are investors globally thinking about the Latin American tech scene? What are some of the conversations that you're having on the ground there?
Yeah, obviously they're looking at growth, the opportunity that we have on fintech, the new launches that we have done recently. On the fintech side, we announced the launching of the new credit card in Argentina. We are doubling our credit book year on year in this quarter. We are doubling the number, the amount of the funds investing on our platform. On the commerce side, we are at record levels in terms of growth. We continue to increase market shares on all of the markets where we operate. We're increasing our free shipping offering. So a lot of new things happening on our ecosystem, and those are the type of things that we're discussing with investors.
Poonam Goyal, our Bloomberg intelligence analyst who watches your business, wants to know about the acquisition of Globo, Brazilian drugstore, and how we should interpret that acquisition, what you're going to do with it, what's your strategy?
Yeah, I think when you look at the pharma category, it's a category that is very low, with very low penetration of e-commerce, but it's a large category within commerce in general, with a lot of frequency of purchase. So we are experimenting not only in Brazil, but in each country where we operate. We have a small pilots on pharma. It's a complex segment of a market because it's highly regulated, but we think it generates a big opportunity going forward. So it's not a lot to report right now. We just acquired in Brazil a small pharmacy to start to experiment. It's a very small part of our business, but it has a big potential because of the size of the commerce that is done on pharma.
Well, talk to us more broadly about how you're thinking about M&A right now. You made this purchase, of course, at the end of August. Should we expect to see more purchases from you?
No, we historically have been, we have performed very few acquisitions. For the most part, we like to build what we do, and we have done so. We have built our full fulfillment infrastructure on our own instead of acquiring. We have built our fintech solutions throughout the years on our own. We have 18,000 developers that are focusing on building the product at MercadoLibre and Mercado Pago. So I would say that for the most part, we are not an acquisitive company.
What about the pharma side of the business? I mean, do you see a lot of growth there? It's something that Amazon has recently gone into here. How many of your customers are getting their drugs from you now or online now compared to what you expect in, say, 5 years?
I think if you look at the pharmacy as percentage of sales at MercadoLibre, is negligible. It's almost non-existent today. So it's more of an opportunity going forward than a reality today. As I mentioned, we operate in 18 different countries. Each country has a different regulation for pharma. So I think it's more of an opportunity than a reality today. But like pharma, there are many different bets that we're doing throughout the operation. Supermarket, 1P, we're experimenting with food delivery that are small today, but represent large opportunities going forward.
By the way, Martin, can you watch what Amazon does? And, do you have time to watch them, wait and see how it works out for them, and then do it yourself? Or do you like to make your own innovative moves, make moves at the same time? How does that work?
I think obviously we observe when we analyze everything around the world, obviously the US, but a lot what's happening in China. And we try to bring those things to Latin America, but those require adaptation, right? I mean, in the early days when we started MercadoLibre 25 years ago, we used to be very similar to eBay, but we rapidly realized that we needed to adjust the model, and we move away from that, the auction model, for instance. Then we build our fulfillment infrastructure in the same way as Amazon has it in the US. Our fintech solution looks a lot more what the Chinese have in China because of financial inclusion that we needed to make. So I think we do observe a lot what's happening in the world, but then we need to customize it to Latin America, which has a different, very different environment.
Well, it feels like Amazon is the elephant in every room, just about. And on the topic of Amazon, they recently bought a stake in a Latin American delivery startup, Rappi, I believe it's pronounced. It's a Colombian delivery company. What does this potentially mean for you? What did you make of that news?
I think we've been competing with Amazon for many years in Brazil, and obviously more intensely in Mexico. And again, as I mentioned before, we have built our logistic infrastructure and our payment infrastructure to compete with Amazon, with the Asian players, and we will continue to compete with them based on the strength of our ecosystem. So again, it doesn't change the trajectory of our investments or our strategy. Not much to report on that front.
What's your investment strategy in terms of AI or data centers? Are you pouring, like all of the mega cap tech companies over here, billions of dollars into that?
No, we're not. I think regarding AI, I would break it down in three. There are certain initiatives that are helping us with cost savings. There are certain ones that are consumer facing and are helping us to push growth and improve the user experience and conversion. And then there are certain ones that speak more about the agentic AI in the way we interact with our users. I would say that we're making a lot of progress in terms of cost savings in many different areas of the business, in particular in coding. The 18,000 developers that we have are embracing AI and becoming more productive. Also consumer facing, a lot of ways that the users interact with our platform have been improving because of AI. And then on the agentic AI, we're experimenting a lot. I think on that front, we have more questions than answers yet, but we have a large team of people who are looking at ways we can improve the user experience via developing our own agents.
All right, Martin.
But we are investing on fundamental models.